Hello again. Welcome to my travels. Hopefully I'll get some videos that aren't in my car. But as it works out, my schedule is busy and I'm trying to do these videos for you. I'm trying to do what I need to do to get where I want to be. And so I'm doing a lot of driving, shift swaps, and back and forth from work and all that. On top of school and taking care of home life and family. All the things. So yeah. Eventually I'll have some more videos that are not me driving to or from somewhere. But until then, let's enjoy the journey. So today is the 10th day of National Preparedness Month. I'm trying to do a video a day. I missed the 7th. Not planning on it, but there is a very good possibility I will miss other days. For my Rumble folks, I don't know what the deal is. Rumble seems to be having more issues when I upload than YouTube does. Maybe it's the connection, maybe it's the length of videos. I have no idea. But I'm putting videos up on both my channels. Like, follow, subscribe on both of those. Lord Fairfax Preparedness at Rumble and Lord Fairfax Preparedness on YouTube. Again, like, follow, subscribe on both of those, please and thank you. When you do subscribe, Rumble doesn't have any issues with making sure you get all notifications. If you subscribe on YouTube, hit that bell button. Make sure you get all notifications. For my 4 subscribers, I appreciate you. Hopefully, as things progress, I'll be able to do some more stuff. But it is what it is at this moment. So today is the 10th of National Preparedness Month, September 10. And again, I just wanted to do a video for you guys. I talked a little bit about working for what you want, planning for what you want, not what you have. I kind of want to follow that thread a little bit. That was one of my, probably be 5 or 6, a little bit more somber videos. Just trying to put some thoughts out there. But I want to kind of follow that thread. If you are homesteading, if you are looking to be self-sufficient, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? If you're homesteading, are you homesteading to be a hobby farm? Are you homesteading for 100% self-sufficiency? Are you homesteading to be able to live and work on a alternate economy, or do you have, as a hobby farm, do you have a job where you can do remote work because you spend a lot of time, you're able to spend a lot more time at home because you do remote work. I'm a paramedic, so remote work doesn't even apply to me. Honestly, I'm kind of envious of those of you that do have remote work jobs. I would love to work from home, but I'm just not in a position where I can do that in my current position and role. And most of those jobs I don't truly have a skill set for. I just don't have that skill set. But I'm envious of those jobs. But again, what are you working towards? What are you trying to do? What is it that you have planned for your homestead? If you're looking for self-sufficiency, what are you doing to be self-sufficient? Is it just to cut back on the grocery bill? Eggs and vegetables and meat, goats or rabbits or chickens or whatever. Are you doing it just to balance what you cut back on what you pay at the grocery store, or is it an attempt to be 100% self-sufficient and not have to rely on the grocery store at all? So for our family, for me and my family, we are looking at building a homestead that we can be 100% self-sufficient and not have to go to the grocery store. Not that we will stop completely going to the grocery store, but if we do go to the grocery store, we're only buying specific items. Because eventually that grocery store may stop being a resource. Who knows? The way the current economy is, depending on which political entity is in power, and by the way, they both suck, but depending on which political entity is in power, kind of determines the way the economy goes. One party is better than the other. You can make your own determinations as to who that is and why. But when one party is in power, then the economy is really good, typically. When the other party is in power, the economy is not so good. Inflation is high, inflation is high, and they stop doing things to build the economy and create jobs. How does creating jobs help the economy? Well, when more people are working, more people are able to put their money. By creating jobs, you allow companies to invest money into the communities that they're in. And by creating jobs, those workers at those jobs invest in their community by purchasing goods. I'm not an economist. I may have that a little bit wrong, but the idea is by building jobs creates money into the economy, which grows the economy. So there's a lot to be said about which political entity is in power. I won't go into that, but for the purposes of self-sufficiency, it matters. It matters. Again, one political party wants you to be totally reliant on the government. another party will allow you freedom to do your own things. One of the things that came out of the pandemic is a parallel economy. There's a lot of social media apps now that didn't exist in 2020, and some of that was because of governmental controls and allegations or factual issues with people like me getting up and spreading, air quotes, misinformation. Look, we know what happens because we saw it with our own eyes. But when the media gaslights us into saying, "Oh, you didn't actually see that. That's not actually what happened," there's a problem there. And so then those with alternative viewpoints were squelched. That's why Rumble now exists. That's why a whole bunch of Telegraph and a whole bunch of other applications, social media applications, exist as an alternative economy. Additionally, a lot of people got into having their own chickens because the cost of eggs at the grocery store is somewhere between $3 and $6 a dozen. That's retarded. There's places where there's places in the United States where it's over $7 a dozen. That's ridiculous. Get chickens. Have your own eggs. It's an expensive upfront cost, but the money savings in the long term becomes bountiful. So, I guess my question to all of you viewers out there, in the whatever land you're watching, YouTube or Rumble land, or wherever you're watching me, what is it that you're trying to do if you're trying to get into self-sufficiency? What is it that you want to see? Are there things that you want that you don't have yet? What are they and how are you working towards them? One of the things that my wife and I are trying to do is bring back some of those old homesteading skills, like canning. We run into people all the time that are surprised that we're in our 30s and 40s and we know how to can. We have family friends from church and that are our same age, mid 30s, early 40s. We have young couples in their early to mid 20s that have no idea about food preservation, dehydrating, or canning. So we want to offer classes to teach some of those skills, to bring back some of those old skills. There's a lot of places out there that are doing that. Greenhorn Farms on TikTok, YouTube. He's got a whole homesteading series. They're putting up a really awesome website to build community gardens and places where there might be issues of food shortage, to improve food sustainability. There's lots of places that out there, even in my own community, some of the surrounding counties, and the hospital system that I work for has community gardens at a couple of the hospitals. Fantastic. the nurses and doctors and techs and CNAs and radiology techs and all that come in a couple hours, tend to the garden on a day off, or just before their shift or a little bit after their shift, and they reap the benefits of that. They get to take some of those fruits and veggies home. So that's super cool. I'd love to see more of that. My wife and I started a company called 4R Farms. Part of what we're planning to do, like I said, with 4R Farms LLC, is build a community and build training classes for canning and food preservation and all of those things. Does everybody that takes our classes want to be 100% self-sufficient? No, of course not. Everybody's ideas on self-sufficiency and self-reliance are different, and they have to varying degrees. Maybe you just want chicken and eggs for the eggs. Maybe you get chickens and you get a whole bunch of them, and you can supplement your income by selling eggs for $2 or $3, $4 a dozen. Cool. Farm fresh eggs. I will come buy some from you, 100%. Because especially if I know you and I know that you're taking good care of your chickens, I'm not buying it from a commercial market. And yeah, has anybody read The Jungle? Like, good Lord. That book, it's a classic, by the way. But that book really got into, for those of you who don't know, if you haven't read it, it's a book based in the Depression in Chicago or some big city, and focuses on the meat packing industry, the canned meat industry, and the gory details of some of the things that happened at the time with cattle cars showing up at the packing plant, and the animals inside, pigs, goats, cattle, were sickly and injured, and all of it went into the food. All of it went into the canned beef, the Spam, the what have you. Yikes. Now, again, 1920s, 1930s, United States didn't have a lot of the FDA and health requirements that we do, regulations with canned foods that we do now. But look, if you look around, you look at pictures of people in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, even the early 90s, people were a lot healthier, despite the fact that they smoked cigarettes and drank alcohol and all of that. They looked a lot healthier. They were not 400 pounds. The United States is the most obese we've been in history. We have the highest level of child obesity, probably in the world. Certainly in our region of the world, and it's terrible because of all of the garbage that we put in our bodies. So What are we doing? What is your plan to be healthy, to live a long, fulfilled life, being self-sufficient or homesteading? What's your plan? Shared a little bit of mine. I'd be interested to hear in the comment section what your thoughts are. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my journey. See you out there.